Guys, Yonder is confused. All the math doesn't add up. He's wondering why you haven't subscribed or dropped a like on the video yet. Trust me, you really don't want to hurt his feelings, so go ahead and drop a like and sub. How's it going, guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back for another video. Now, in this one, we're going to continue talking about possible storyline tie-ins, as well as new and upcoming updates for the game. If you'd like a cookie, be sure to use code PINEAPPLESYT in the Fortnite item shop, and if you do so, let me know in the comments so I can give your comment a heart and reply to you. So first up today, we've got a leak from Hypex, who says, leaked upcoming floppers. I just checked, and these are real, and they exist in the fishing spot's loot pool, but they are disabled, which means Epic is still testing them. Now, the specific kinds of floppers in testing are the thermal flopper, the shield flopper, the jelly flopper, the hop flopper, and the fire flopper. So two of these are pretty vague, and I'm not exactly sure what they would do. The fire flopper and the jelly flopper, who knows what they would do. Now, the rest of them seem to be pretty straightforward. Let's start with the thermal flopper. The thermal flopper seems like it would be very similar to the shakedown effect that happens when you shake down a henchman or an opponent, where you can get a brief glimpse at people through walls. Or maybe it would just give you thermal vision for a certain amount of time. I would imagine it wouldn't be too long if that's the route they choose to go down. Now, the shield flopper, obviously very simple. It would probably just give you shields. The hop flopper is arguably the most intriguing one. I would imagine it would just give you similar effects that the hop rocks did back in last chapter. Previously, you would consume a hop rock and then you would be able to jump really high in the air, which I think would be a great addition here in Chapter 2, and having them with a flopper makes a ton of sense. So looking forward to seeing how these continue to develop. If we get any more news, I'll keep you updated. So ever since this season started 9 days ago, we've known that over time the water level would go down. It hasn't happened yet, and a lot of people, including myself, have been left wondering when exactly the first stage of water is going to go down. Well, courtesy of Fort Tory on Twitter, we know that the very first state the water level will begin to recede in Season 3 is July 1st. You can see in the game's coding files, it says water level 7, and this would be the first stage after the original stage, so I guess the second stage of the water level this season. And in total, there are 8 different water levels that we'll experience. So of course, this is the map as it is right now. You can see everything exactly as we are familiar with, and here is the undiscovered map outline of how the map is going to look like once July 1st rolls around. You can see the water level has backed off a little bit, and overall there is more dry land and less water in general. If you're curious, all of the different water level maps have been leaked already, and this is courtesy of FBR Update. You can see all the way in the top left, that's the map right now. One to the right is what the map will be like on July 1st. Probably a week or so after that, you'll get the next one, and so on, until you get to the one in the bottom right, where it's almost exactly the same way as it was last season. So if you've been keeping up with leaks and keeping up with my most recent videos, you'll know that there has been a lot of speculation about an Atlantis POI. In fact, there have been many different references in the game's coding for this alleged new place. Now, one thing I do want to point out in these leaked maps is the one that's next from last. You can see in the top left corner where everyone is speculating that the POI would be, there's nothing. And then the very next one, it automatically jumps to there being something there. Could this be the Atlantis POI? If so, we would have to wait a very long time until the final stage of the water level to actually access it. Check out this tweet from Fort Tory, who says, so there is an encrypted POI called the Ruins, and there are several hints to an Atlantis POI. The sound files for an unreleased biome in the map is called ATR, and there are waterfall sounds which would fit perfect with the Ruins Falls. Atlantis the Ruins could be the acronym for ATR in the game's files, which is actually making a lot of sense. As if that weren't enough, Fort Tory made another tweet that said, while looking for more Atlantis references, I found this. Female_medium_lady PO_Atlantis_head. Currently, that's the only file referencing a female Atlantis skin, so we can't say a lot about it. So it looks like there's a decent chance not only we are going to get Aquaman, but maybe a female Guardian of Atlantis as well that could end up being a boss in the area. To kind of reiterate on that, Fortori followed up on that tweet and said, "It's hard to make conclusions with only one single file to work with, so I won't confirm here that the skin is 100% coming to BR, simply we need more files to make such conclusions. But hear me out, Atlantis POI with Aquaman as a boss and a female Atlantis skin as the henchman." Ever since this Atlantis POI has been leaked, people have been wondering whether or not Aquaman is actually going to be a boss in that area. I would say the chances of that are very, very high, considering Deadpool, which was unlocked in the same way last season, ended up being a boss that took over the yacht. So yes, I do think Aquaman is going to end up being the boss of the Atlantis POI, or whatever POI this actually is, and it would make a lot of sense for the henchmen there, or the bots, to end up being this female Atlantis skin. With as much hype as this has around it from the very early going of the season, it makes me wonder if in any way the Atlantis POI or Aquaman could be involved with this season's storyline and or event, because like I said, the events are the best part of the game and it's never too early to start speculating. It never is. That's the whole point of this channel. Here's an interesting point pointed out by user JakeBoy1 over on Reddit, who says, "So the victory umbrella for this season, aka the Fortilla Flyer, has SOS written on it, and in the trailer we see Midas on a raft supposedly being eaten by a shark. But what if he is still alive and he is stranded somewhere far away? So he made this umbrella and wrote SOS on it, which of course is the universal distress signal." As you guys know, there are tons of theories about Midas being still alive and potentially him coming back as Oro. Now, I don't know if this is true or not about the glider, but there are a couple points I want to add that may help increase the amount of belief and trust you put in it. First of all, the name is Fortilla Flyer. That is the name of the umbrella. The Fortilla is the last remaining area for Ghost on the entire map. As we know, Midas was running the agency, which was a Ghost area. It was the main headquarters for Ghost. Because of the events that happened during the device, the agency fell to Shadow and is now the authority. Ghost lost almost everything at the end of Chapter 2 Season 2, and everything was replaced pretty much by the Shadow faction. With all that being said, it would make sense for Midas, who we believe to still be part of the Ghost faction, would write SOS on a glider named after the last remaining Ghost area on the entire map. Next up, I want to show you something that user Kumar found over on Reddit. So you can see it says the leaked undiscovered minimaps have a few big changes that I noticed. The first one is this new landmass that is currently underwater. You can see this landmass did not exist back in the last season, and it's completely underwater, but by the time the season is over, most likely it is going to be revealed. As to what it is, no one really knows. Now, on the right side of the image, you can see something which he speculates to be containment for a Steamy device, of course, a Steamy Stacks device, and you can see there is no terrain change yet. For a long time, ever since this chapter has been out, people have been speculating that some way, somehow, Steamy Stacks would have a nuclear meltdown, and that might be somewhat a part of the storyline. It's an interesting theory, and to be honest with you, it might be one of the most common theories for this chapter so far. There have been plenty of people every single season who have been saying this not only in my comments section, but also all across the internet. And maybe this new finding on the leaked maps could in some way insinuate or hint towards a Steamy meltdown. Either way, guys, I hope you'll let me know your ideas and suggestions in the comments down below, or via Twitter, or in my Discord, the 3 best places to get a hold of me. If you're not following me over on caffeine.tv, you definitely should. Click the link in the description and follow my live stream for chances to win free stuff. I go live 4 times a week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're not a subscriber, and drop a like if you like what you saw, and if you want to see more, be sure to let me know in the comments. I'll catch you in my next video, and until then guys, take it easy, and peace out my friends.